Hey guys, found another great website by Richard Allen Wagner called The Truth About the Freemasons. And he actually has a whole book, which I'll put in the link. But I haven't read the book yet, so I'm not going to go over that in this video, but I'll definitely put the link. It's from thetruthaboutshakespeare.com. Of course, it goes into this guy is a Mason, so he is going to reveal some stuff and he's going to hide some stuff, but he's still a good reference, I would have to say. So Francis Bacon, as we know, he's the secret son of Queen Elizabeth I. He was, considered a bastard, and his adopted name was Bacon. But his actual mom was Queen Elizabeth, and he would have been really Francis' tutor. He would have been one of the tutors. And he was the creator of the William Shakespeare plays, as we'll see, because the actor William Shakespeare had no knowledge of anything, or no, not, books, no works in his hand, and the five signatures we do have of him look like scribbles. He was not a writer; he was a front man. And what's super interesting in this whole thing is that Bacon is the creator of modern speculative Freemasonry and the Hiram Abiff myth. Okay, now let's get into this. We know the Rosy Cross, as we looked into earlier a couple months ago, is the Rosicrucian movement of England in the 1600s, all that kind of stuff. And they used their different ciphers, of course, that Bacon mostly originated. As we can see, Bacon at 17 here. It says in a different language, if the mind could be painted, or if you could paint the mind, to insinuate his genius. But, that's the trait of Aquarius, not to be cocky or whatever, but Aquarius is known for universalizing all kinds of knowledge and having very um, deep understanding of reality. And John Dee, a very famous occultist, was a mentor of Francis Bacon, as we could see right here. Okay, so he knew all the occult stuff. Here's actually an awesome painting showing John Dee passing the lamp of Rosicrucian light to Francis Bacon over an open grave. I mean, Bacon is always known as wearing the hat and everything like that. It's very interesting. Bacon wrote, I claim all knowledge to be my province, and he wasn't joking. He knew multiple languages, traveled the world, basically the only person who could have written the Shakespeare plays with all its knowledge and everything. And as we know, Pallas Athene is the spear shaker at the shaking the spear of knowledge at the serpent of ignorance. Okay. All right. Let's get a little deeper here. Or you can obviously read this stuff on your own, but I want to get to the good stuff. Um, with the super awesome implications, blah blah blah. And as we look, there's different ciphers. There's the Pythagorean, the K, and the simple, and the reverse, and the short cipher tables, and they all mean something. And you need to study it on your own to understand how everything connects to itself. Because this is a thing, and that I'll definitely leave the link, of course, but you got to read it on your own. And this is one of Bacon's sigils. See, it's the pig for the bacon, and the C is the Roman numeral for 100. All right, that's Bacon's coat of arms. Now 100 is going to be an important number because it represents the name of Francis Bacon and the K cipher. Okay, and it's also 51 in the Pythagorean cipher. Okay, and Tudor is also 51, but in the Elizabethan reverse cipher. So Bacon understood these different codes that he himself created and incorporated all these different hints and clues to show these facts. Okay. All right, there's Ben Jonson, of course. He's in on it, as we all know. In Scene 1, Act 4 of Macbeth, it talks about black spirits and white, red spirits and gray, mingle, 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 you that mingle may. And it's 15 words, and 15 is Bacon in a short cipher. And the word mingle adds up to 33 in the Pythagorean cipher, etc. And you can see his actual sigil. Um, it's the four colors that compromises Bacon's family crest: black, white, red, and gray, right here. So he was the author of it. And now the worshipful master of Freemasonry wears a top hat, and Bacon is always painted with a hat. Okay. I mean, he has a piece of paper and he's holding a rod or a spear, probably at a specific angle, you know. Everything means something, okay? Now, here's where it gets more interesting, y'all. It's Pallas Athene, of course, with the spear, and at the certain time of day, the sun reflects off the spear mirror, as it makes it look like as if it's moving, and that's the serpent of ignorance. Now, here's a famous painting. There's the dove and Francis Bacon, once again with the hat, handing over something, and his legs are at a 90-degree angle because they worship the Pythagorean triangle. You could see he's handing a message to a senior deacon, and the junior deacon walks in the background right here. A lot of different symbols. Their legs form the letter T, and stands for tutor, aka Bacon. Of course, the letter G, they think it's most people think it stands for God. However, G is being used by Francis Bacon as a cipher device. Okay, when you see the Freemason compass with the G, that's exactly what it is. So as you can see, it corresponds to the letter 7 in the simple cipher. So the fact that it says G 3 times in Richard III, Scene 1, Act 1, which we saw in a previous video actually, because it was page 173, which is 17 and 3, RC, Rosie Cross. Anyway, it's 777. And G also represents the number 33 in the K cipher. So once again, 33 is Bacon as well. So it's not just God and geometry, it's Bacon, the creator of the system, to recognize these symbols. Okay? It's a lot to take in, but I still have a little bit more to show you. Y'all can read that stuff on your own, of course. Okay, so King Solomon is killed by 3 people, and part of the Freemason initiation is to reenact that. Um, so, so perplexed by Hiram's absence, King Solomon sends out a cater of fellow craft masons, all wearing white gloves, to search for the worshipful Grand Master, or WGM, which you see throughout the Shakespeare plays. And then they discover his grave, marked by the acacia sprig that the murderers put there, and they dig up his decomposed body. And then the Hiramic play is actually a Masonic third degree is an enactment of Bacon's great Instauration, his last work, his sort of great revelation to humanity or whatever that wouldn't be discovered till after he was dead. Okay, and upon digging up the remains, Solomon takes hold of the dead hand and raises him to an upright stance, and a transmutation takes place, and it's like the rebirth of Hiram. Okay, King Solomon, aka Bacon, whispers 3 words into the ear, and Hiram is raised up, basically symbolically as Shakespeare. The newly raised Hiram is reborn in accordance with Bacon's birth date, and he reemerges as Shakespeare, the spirit of the Great Instauration. And 2 things stand out. Is the MHB, or let's see, yeah, the MHB is number 22, which is his birthday, January 22nd, because he's Aquarius, as we mentioned earlier. And the new Master Mason is given an acacia sprig that is marked as grave because they actually are signify immortality because they literally die, but when you just put more water on them, they come back to life for some reason, even when their roots were already dead. So it symbolizes that, which is kind of trippy. And it says the Shakespeare sonnets, it shows how Mr. W.H., like that's who it's to, and no one knows who that is. What W.H., what is it? What actually is Worshipful Hiram. And we saw that 55 equals Hiram Abiff. Well, W and H add up to 55 as well in the K cipher, whereas Hiram Abiff is 55 in the Pythagorean cipher. Now look at this painting. He has a white glove wearing the acacia, the sprig tree. Like, how, that's so Freemason, that's so Masonic. It's the Marshall engraving. Okay. Isn't that crazy? I'm sorry. And the white gloves symbolize innocence and fidelity because the hands that uncover Hiram's remains must be pure and uncorrupted. But also, white gloves adds up to 55 in the Pythagorean cipher, okay, which is also Hiram Abiff. And the acacia sprig, well, um, it's a remarkable ability to dry up and die during periods of drought. And when water returns to its root, it's able to regenerate back to a living state, as if reborn. So it's symbolic of immortality. And also, once again, acacia spring adds up to 51, which is Francis Bacon in the Pythagorean cipher. So the sprig is immortality, and the glove is the innocent hands who get to dig up his body as an apprentice. Okay? All right, now lastly, um, the Shake-Speare is represented by 45 as well. And so 45 plus 55 is Hiram Abiff, which is 100, which is Francis Bacon. Okay, so it literally means Shake-Speare plus Hiram Abiff equals Francis Bacon numerologically. Okay, and you can read the whole book. Of course, some other awesome essays as well. But yeah, Lost Secret. Let's click the link here. You can read it for free, PDF if you get it on your phone, Kindle or Nook. There's the table of contents. Anyway, that's interesting. So the whole Freemason Masonic Hiram Abiff mythology is created by Francis Bacon, the originator of speculative Freemasonry, who said it wouldn't be discovered until, or they weren't allowed to expose it until 100 years after its birth, which was 1717, the official day Freemasonry was quote unquote released into the world. But Francis Bacon created it 100 years before. Another reason why his name 100 equals 100 in the sea and the pig, all that stuff we just looked at. Anyway, free books, free knowledge, great implications. The best things in life are free. Well, after you pay for the internet, of course. Later.